If you told me that I would go from getting a restraining order against my brother to happily counting down the days to him being home from prison, I would have said you lost your goddamn mind. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Melissa. I'm an adoptee and adoption educator. And my brother was also adopted from Colombia, like me, but from a different biological family. Growing up, neither of us knew that we were adopted. We just knew that we were being raised in this immigrant Italian and Portuguese family in very different ways than the average kid in suburban New York was. And there was a lot of pressure on us in different ways. I was taught to cook and clean and take care of the guys. He was taught to, do all the work outside. And the way my dad bonded with us is had us carry around buckets and pick up rocks in the yard for hours and hours, or sticks, or whitewashing the fence, or using a butter knife to scrape up the weeds around the path around the house. And my brother and I, we really went through different paths to kind of cope and get through things, because we had both been feeling so different and so unloved. And it was devastating to see how it destroyed our relationship. Things just kept getting more and more difficult as he used drugs to cope. And I saw that escalating as a teenager. And sometimes in immigrant households, parents just push things aside. And it had gotten to the point where he was bringing friends over the house, and it was becoming increasingly more violent and dangerous. And I was pregnant with my first child, and there was an incident where we had to call the police, and the officer was just telling me that the only thing we could really do was get a restraining order. And at that point, I had tried everything I could think of, and I was terrified. I was going to be a new mom. This was going to be my first biological relative that I ever met. And at that point in time, our safety was a risk at that point, because when my brother is on substances, he's not my brother. He's a completely different person. That person is violent and mean and cruel. But at the end of the day, it broke my heart to see him in that courtroom with the judge, because it felt like we never really had a chance to be the siblings that we were meant to be. And this last time that he has been incarcerated, we have used this as an opportunity to get to know one another better. And we have been emailing back and forth for about a year. And it has been so healing and so wonderful to get to know him. In a lot of immigrant households, you're just told to work hard, and so we missed out on a lot of opportunities to really enjoy being siblings. But now things are changing, and we are working hard so our kids have the childhood that we dreamed of. And I am very happy to say that we have grown a lot closer, and he's going to be home in a little less than 2 months. And one of the first things that we're going to do is get him a 23andMe DNA test to see his breakdown of any health things that they could pick up, and also like his ancestry, because this is the first time he's really been exploring anything about his adoption. And I'm excited to help him through that path, because I've been doing this work now for like 6 years. So it feels really good that now I can help my brother. And just know that with enough time and enough help, sometimes relationships can heal. And I never would have imagined that we'd be at the place that we are today. And I hope this just brings somebody hope that there's a chance that your loved one will get sober, and your loved one will make different choices that will make it safe to have them in your life again.
Hi, if you're new here, my name is Melissa Guida-Richards, and I'm an adoptee and adoption educator, and I create content to help support adoptees and foster youth. And I also help adoptive parents and professionals prioritize ethical, trauma-informed, child-centered practices. So make sure you're following me here on this page and there if you care about child welfare.